All right, so this is Eric Harris going to walk through creating a repeating section, attaching it to a form. All right, so got a list. The scenario on this one is essentially a basic list that will capture expense travel information for flights. So look at we have title. This will be the name of the person, start, destination, flight date, ticket, and then I had all these, and then I also have flights. So I'll show you the way people most start out, and then what you can actually do to correct that or to actually store the data in correct places. So let's actually look at the form itself. So I created a form, has a name, and then has a repeating section. I'm going to go through this. I've kind of pre-formatted this one. When I get into Office 365, we will look at start from scratch. I'll actually go completely from scratch, but in this case, I wanted to just kind of get this one going. So I started this one over. So we have that. So this is actually ready to go. We have the name of the person, the flight date, the ticket price or the flight price, flight cost, start and the destination, and that'll be it for now. That's all we'll be doing. So we'll go ahead and publish that. Actually, let's not publish that because we need to set it up. So repeating section, the repeating section is going to be connected to flights. Flights is a multi-line of text column. So we'll do that. So let's actually just show you this. So that is coming in as a multi-line of text column. If you needed to, say for example, you needed to create one, I could do this repeating section field. And I'm just going to show you what this needs to be connected to. So we'll do this as multi-line of text. It needs to be plain text. That is something to be aware of. It should be plain text. Do not use it as enriched. Plain text is what you need to do for that. And then again, just taking the repeating section here. If you were to bring this in, drop it in. As long as you connected that to your repeating section, any data that's in there will be fine. So actually, I'll redo all of this. We'll connect that up here, so that's actually connected now. The title actually flows through, and then I want to give it a name. Actually, we don't really need the title, but we can give it a name. We'll leave that there so people can see it. I'll bring flight data in there, and then ticket price, start. Let's get that in there too. Doesn't like that. Let's go, there we go. Start, and then destination. So this whole section will be repeating. We'll close that out, delete that one. So this whole section again should repeat as we have multiple flights. Fairly straightforward. These we will also need to ensure they at least have a name on them. And the reason for that is this actually goes into the XML metadata. So let's just make sure that these all have the correct name. So we'll do this as start airport. And destination airport. And here's another thing that I can do here as well. I'm going to probably have to change that to a choice because I want to make it a drop down. Actually, so we'll do this as start airport. And then just start. And it'll be a drop down list. And then I'm gonna edit these. So we'll do this really quick. We'll do Seattle, Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, Fort Worth, I think it is. Boston. Let's do those, and we'll repeat that for the destinations as well. So we'll do another one. Fill these in here. There. So do that. That did not bring that over. Actually, destinations. What I want. Destination airport. All right. So one other thing you may notice, I'll actually remove these. You'll notice that none of these are connected. That is correct. Repeating section controls cannot be connected to anything in a list. This because the data doesn't flow directly there. It flows in through XML into the actual multi-line text field. And so that's just something to be aware of. That looks good. Everything should be good there. So we're going to publish this really quickly. and then we'll test it out. All right, form is published. So come back here, create a new item. Should pick up our published form. It does. So I'll put my name in there, and then flight date. Just pick date, ticket price. We'll call it even $1,000. Go from Seattle. We went to Atlanta, and then we'll do the return. The return still next week, and $1,000 again, and we'll do from Atlanta back to Seattle, and we'll save that. So pretty simple, but what we now see is that we have this repeating section, we have this XML data, and we need to be able to get that data out of the XML so that we can actually use it. We could potentially store using a workflow stored in individual columns onto the list if we want to do that, or we could leave it here and just extract it and use it with a workflow, etc. But what I wanted to show there was just quickly how to set up the form. So you have a basic form, what the repeating section looks like, and what you can do to ensure that your fields are at least connected correctly so that the data then actually gets pushed into the multi-line text field. Now, how do you extract that will be a little bit more complicated, but easy, and that'll come in a different video. But hopefully this will help you understand at least how to get the data out of a repeating section and into a form control. And this is for on-prem 2016, which should be similar for 2013 and 2019 as well with Nintex.